My name is Lobos. I'm 38 years old, and this is my health story. My full-time job, I'm a firefighter paramedic. I'm also a husband and a father to 2 children, a baby girl and a 9-year-old son. I was kind of always the person who kind of did everything that I thought was right. I ate clean, I exercised daily, I barely drank any kind of alcohol. I always kind of did those things that you quote unquote like should do. And that all kind of changed for me one day. So my son, who was 3 years old at the time, we were sitting out in front of a coffee shop area in a patio near a parking lot. We were enclosed in a gazebo, so I couldn't see anything, but I could hear it. So I could hear an engine revving, skidding, and then it drove right through us. My son went one way, I went the other. When I came to, I realized that I couldn't find my son. Went into the scared parent mode. I was panicked. I started pulling off debris. There was bushes, there was tables and chairs. I was digging through there and I saw him lying lifeless, partially under the vehicle. As I'm reaching down to pick up my son, I'm thinking the worst thing possible. I thought I was experiencing every parent's worst nightmare. I thought I was going to pick up my dead child. As soon as I grabbed him and picked him up, he started crying instantaneously. And that's when I knew that he was okay. The best cry I've ever heard in my entire life. I held him as he was crying. At that point in time, I felt my legs. I thought they were both broken, but I knew I needed to get away from the car. So I stepped away from the car, sat down, and waited for the ambulance and the fire department to arrive. Ironically, guys that I obviously work with. And so long story short with that, as we went down to the hospital, we were evaluated, and by a miracle of God, that I was unscathed pretty much, just bumps and bruises, and my son too, just bumps and bruises, and we were released later that day. However, kind of the after effects of that were kind of yet to be seen. Within 1 week of the accident, I noticed my middle toe was swollen, and I was having really bad foot pain. And then over the course of several years, I developed more signs and symptoms. Over the first year, I had bad plantar fasciitis. Out of nowhere. I was always active, and I never had that problem before. And then that developed into my hip pain, very chronic and debilitating, where I couldn't even pick up my child on some days. That kind of led into my skin issues. So I started having red flaky skin. I thought it was just dandruff, and it ended up being psoriasis. Along the way, I'm having these health problems, underlying thing of anger issues and temper issues, and that was not like me. Those anger issues stem from my diagnosis of PTSD. Underwent treatment for several months and underwent EMDR, which helped immensely. Over 4 years, I developed the hip pain, the back pain, the plantar fasciitis, the really bad psoriasis, which is like your head is on fire. I went to orthopedics. I went to dermatologists. I even went down to UCLA and almost had surgery on my hip because my pain was so bad and debilitating. Countless doctors that I went to that wouldn't put everything together for me ultimately made me find my own path. I started doing some research, and I Googled and I YouTubed. I discovered gut health and leaky gut. I read numerous books, watched countless videos, anything I could get my hands on to learn more about what's going on in my body. I started different diets, so I started looking at elimination diets, candida diets, tried different supplementation, probiotics, prebiotics, and then that ultimately kind of got things started for me. Along the way, I found some supplements that helped me kind of get back to balance. So I discovered Plexus, which was a gut health supplements company. I looked into it and I started taking the supplements. And those supplements were what kind of pushed me over the edge to find my true healing path. So I'm about 2 years in to gut health, taking these supplements, stress reduction, got treatment for my PTSD, anxiety, sleeping better. By combining all those things together, I've found my true healing path. I run every day. I can exercise every day. I don't have the angry burst outs that I used to have. I'm happy, content with my family. I'm happier than I ever been. And I'm actually truly feeling better than I did in my 20s. Gut health is a slow process. It does take time. I gave it that fair shake, and that's when I really started noticing things. I'm 2 years into my gut health journey, and I can truly say that I've been given my life back. Am I 100%? Is there a cure for autoimmune issues and these other things? Absolutely not. But is there a way to improve your overall health and be able to live with this disease? You betcha. So that's what I'm here today to share, is my story, my journey, because I know there's more than just the next prescription drug, the next doctor's appointment, the next surgery. I'm kind of a perpetual optimist. Everything happens for a reason. I had that accident, had health problems, and I went all through that. There was pain, there was suffering, there was a lot of things along the way, but it happened for a reason. And that reason is that I found gut health, and I found that true healing path, and I found that avenue to be able to share that. I enjoy helping people, and I really, really enjoy this, because this is true healing from the inside out. This is long-term care versus just another Band-Aid. I'm going to share my journey. There's more people out there like myself that can benefit from true gut health and true healing. Being a perpetual optimist, that accident is how I met my wife. She was actually a reporter at the time. I was scared to death of obviously the accident, and I didn't want to kind of share that at all. However, I thought to myself, what if somebody else could benefit from this? Against my better judgment at the time, it worked out, right? She asked to do an interview with me. She interviewed me, and we started dating within just a week, and now we are married. We've been married for almost 3 years now, and I have a baby girl. I wouldn't have my daughter today, I wouldn't have my wife today, and I would not have my health today if it wasn't for that accident. As tragic as it was, it ended up being a very good thing. Everything in life happens for a reason, and I'm kind of living proof of that.